The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised. In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Oh my God, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey everybody, it's Ian Macho. Now that you're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com, the best in the business. Say it to Macho.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself. So you gambling guys, come on. So that's my favorite.
Describe the Trash Talking Radio Show from 7 to whenever we get done. It's by using a screwdriver. Track, roast, beef, this will never shine. The other half of the rock and wrestling connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ivan Goldop. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. The Trash, 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen to it. It's the best around, the best in town. Alright, hey, this is the animal. One after the one from the take in the world where we do the. If you know it's good for you, listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Mike Miller. What have I said about Trash Talking Radio? I just say that I just love Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch me because what you gonna do when I walk through these brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you.
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this, the Vital Idol tells you it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
Oh, yes, it's Trash Talking Radio. It's Tuesday night, and as soon as I push this button, we'll be on the air again. Okay, which one is it? Okay, this one. This one here. This one here. One I don't want to push. Oh, did I close it again? Oh, did I do it again? Oh, man, I can't believe I did it again. I think I closed the window again. So, Doug, you're still there.
I'm still here.
I'm going to put you on for now, because you can at least be seen. There you go. You can talk. I'll be there in a second. I keep pushing the wrong button. I hate when that happens.
You think after 20 years.
You'd think. But some people just don't get it. That would be me. And, yeah, I did it again. Twice in one day. That's really amazing. So, yeah. So we are here. It's just, I screwed up. I wish I could lock it down so it doesn't do that. That would really be the easiest thing. If it would just lock it down and then boom, I would be okay. But no, it couldn't be that nice to me. It's got to make me look like an idiot. Well, I can do that myself. I don't need any help. So,
you took those words right out of my
mouth. Let's see. Now let's see if I can do this. Okay, so I want to, let's see, what do I want to do? Oh, position. That's what I want to do. All right, so Got to crop myself out. And down. Okay. So that way I'll even look better than last time because I keep cutting my head short so no one can see what my body looks like, I guess. I don't know. All right, so there's that. Now I need to position this over. Oh, okay, I need to do that. And I need to make me smaller. So, let's see what happens here. And if I did this right, I should be up and running here and be back on the map here. Let's see if I came up. Hey, I'm there. Wow. And now I just need to put you on it. Okay, so now we'll move this up here. People can't see what I'm doing, but it's really crazy stuff. Okay, so now I need to move you back there. And now I need to add you. All right. So how was your weekend?
Well, my wife is home, so the weekend was pretty good.
Good.
I babysat a lot, and I have car trouble, but that's okay. It's only money.
It's only money.
Lots of it.
Yeah. It's only money.
I have moving parts, Mike.
Yeah, that's one thing. Okay, I need then I need to put you in, which would be right there. Wait a minute, which one are you? 3. You're 3. So that should put you there. Then I can put you over here. That's what we talk about on the fly. Moved you on the fly. Can move you up a little bit so you're not cut off by the spinning trash talking radio. All right, got it. Now I need to do one last thing, and that is color key me
Don't
again.
close the window again.
What's that?
Don't close the window again.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing I got to do is not do that again. It just irritates me when I do that. Okay. So now I need to do this. Boom. And this. And then there's the magic of Hollywood. Doggone. There I am. Now I need to not touch anything else and we'll be okay. All right. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to announce that a friend of mine passed away. So let's go to his picture so I can show his picture. Let's see here. Oh, now I got to turn that off. Darn it. Enough with Hollywood. Okay, this is Ron, and Ron is a drummer, and he's a good drummer. He is hard of hearing, and he died yesterday. I played with him for about almost a year. He's not in my current band. That's the only good thing about it, but he was a really, really nice guy and very kind. He would never say anything bad about anybody. You could pick on him, and he would not pick on you back. I mean, the guy is really a good guy, and I hated to see him go. I mean, he's one of those guys that he would do anything for you. I mean, he just was a really nice guy, and he just loved to drum. And he spent his life with his kids, growing, making sure his kids had everything. And he was so happy when he could start playing drums again because he no longer had the worry of what they were going to do. And it just is. It's just. I'm sad to see him go because like I said, he was a really good guy, and he had heart issues, and when he was playing with us, when I was playing with him, he actually had to get a stent replaced, and when he was, it was kind of funny that he got the stent replaced, and the next time he was in, he was playing songs really fast. It's like he was trying to catch up to all the times he wasn't playing on the right speed or something. But it was just awesome. Oh, I don't even have his picture up there. Hold on there. Why did that go up? That shouldn't be up there. Okay. Let me think of this. Let me see. Why didn't it? Everything I just said didn't mean anything because it wasn't there. Okay. There he is. So that's Ron. And like I said, he was a really super guy. He just, he was really happy to be able to play, to be able to play his drums again after all those years of being a dad and, doing the dad things and making sure everybody else was taken care of. But when his kids were taken care of, he finally felt that maybe he could go and play drums again. And he was a good player. He was pretty good. And we did a lot of the same songs. I mean, we knew a lot of the same songs. We knew things like Billy Idol and Leonard Skinner and stuff like that. It was fun. The playlist we had was pretty much catered towards our generation.
How old was he, Mike?
I think he was like 67 or 68. But he was, he was having all kinds of, the last year he just had all kinds of issues, and he went into hospital about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and they told me he went into hospital. And then I thought he was out, because I thought I asked if he was out, and I thought somebody told me he was out, but I guess he didn't make it out. So he was in the hospital all the time. And last night I was working on the show, and my one friend called, sent me a message about him, and kind of threw the rest of the night off. I didn't, you have those feelings that, sometimes you get those feelings that you wish you would have contacted somebody. You wish you would have, stayed in contact with them. And I did see him a couple times. Like we played in August. Was it August? Yeah, in August. We played a birthday party. Well, I played only a couple songs because it wasn't my band and it wasn't my party. So I played a couple songs. Actually, they wouldn't let me leave until I played. So it was funny. But I got to play with him that day, and that was the last time I saw him was at that party. So it's it's just really a shame because he was a good guy. He had a Corvette, and I used to kid him about how slow his Corvette was compared to my Tesla. So it was funny because he didn't want to take me on either. He did until he thought about it, and then he said, "Yeah, maybe not." I guess those they do races up somewhere up in Selinsgrove or something that you can participate in, and I depending what year Corvette it was, I would be a little and how far I would be a little cautious about taking them on because I don't have the fastest Tesla because I didn't want the fastest Tesla. I wanted mileage. I didn't want speed because the speed that I get is plenty fast. But the difference is that the new Corvettes, and he didn't have a new Corvette, but the new Corvettes they're really fast. I actually saw a drag race between the new Corvette and a new Tesla sports model, and the Tesla beat the Corvette every time, but it was by milliseconds. So, mine probably wouldn't have beat it because I don't have mine. I wanted the mileage, and you can't get the mileage and the speed, so you have a choice of the one or the other. But, I hope his family is okay. I just know that it's devastating when you lose someone because I've certainly lost my fair share of people. And I hope and pray this isn't going to be another 3 for me because every time I get 1, I get 3. Usually I lose a dog, and I don't want to lose a dog either. So if I lose one of my dogs, I'll know that I'm headed towards another 3, and I can't handle another 3, not this early. I just kind of got over the last 3. Anyway, all right, enough of that. Let's talk about good stuff. Funny enough, so InfoWars was put up for sale because because the guy, what was his name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, yeah. He had gotten
Money.
he got in so much trouble. And I just think it's funny that of all the things, when they put his InfoWars up, the people that end up buying it are the best people in the world for it. So the people that end up buying it are from The Onion. And if anybody knows about The Onion, they know that it's satirical. And it'll be really funny to see what they do with it. But it says here, where am I? It says here, The Onion buys Alex Jones InfoWars with plans to make it a cosmic joke. The satirical site bidding for the assets and the backing, and has the backing of Sandy Hook families. So, yeah, I guess they're gonna, I mean, the big deal was that he lost all that money to the Sandy Hook families, which he'll probably never pay anyway, because, you know, I'm sure he has all his assets hidden somewhere. But, you know, the site acquired InfoWars after a bid auction was selected by a court-appointed bankruptcy trustee overseeing the free speech system's bankruptcy proceedings. Everytown for Gun Safety, the largest gun violence prevention organization in the country, will be the exclusive launch advertiser for the site in the new venture. So The Onion's goal in acquiring the site was to end InfoWars' relentless barrage of disinformation for the sake of selling supplements and replace it with The Onion's relentless barrage of humor for good, the company said in a press release. Financial details of the bid were not disclosed. I kind of wonder what they ended up spending for it, because, you know, I would think, I mean, I don't know.
It'll come out eventually.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as big of a deal. Hi, Ann. Glad to see you. Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's funny that the Onion bought it. Of all places to buy it, that is cool. So good. Now someone would just take care of him so that he stops being an idiot. Well, I guess they pretty much took care of him since they took his dynasty down. So I don't know. I just think it's funny. So now it's funny in a better way than it was, because Alex Jones was far from a human being as far as I'm concerned. But it was interesting.
He's a far right-wing zealot.
Yes. It scared me that he was, you know, I was thinking...
Conspiracy theorist.
Yes, and I can't stand these conspiracy theorists. They need to get a grip. Because, you know, conspiracy theorists are just, I don't know, they're just, in my mind, they're just dangerous people. And because they always try to make something out of nothing, and I don't know, I think they're just dangerous people. So I want to make sure I put this particular thing on Facebook. Come on, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay, next thing. Let's see. Kill that. Okay. Disney expects to spend $24 billion in content in 2025. Can you, $24 billion just in content? That's a lot of content. But I mean, they have a lot of, I mean, they own everything. They own so much stuff right now. It says rate hikes at the NFL, NBA may mean sports drive the slight spending increase, with the company reporting $23.4 billion this past year. That's, I mean, I guess if that's what they spent this past year, it's really not that big of a jump. But I just didn't even imagine spending that kind of money. But then again, Wolverine made them a good couple billion too. So they made, they need a couple more Wolverines. But yeah, that's it says they're expecting 24 billion when last year they did 23.4 billion. So and actually in fiscal 2024 they had expected to spend 25 billion on content, down from 27. So they're actually spending less than they used to spend, I guess. But that's still a lot of money. That's I probably make half that now.
Well, that's stretching it. You make about 49%.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, round it off. I guess we're going to have to talk about it. I know some people don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. Tyson.
Yes.
Did you see it?
No, I would not watch it.
Why?
Well, I thought it was pay-per-view and found out later it wasn't. So that's the main reason.
A lot of people thought it was because it was. You usually don't see. Okay, my thoughts are this. Actually, I got several thoughts, but I'll put them in the order. I'll put them in the order that I was thinking them. At the time of the fight, I thought he was at the time of the first round. I expected Tyson to put him out. He didn't. And then as it went to round 2, he didn't. And I started looking and I thought, okay, something's wrong here. And as it went through, he went all 8 rounds and did not knock him out. And I thought, okay, so one of 2 things happened here. One, he is old and can't do what he used to do. And then there was part 2, which is what I believe is true. And I'm going to tell you what did you hear anything about this before I get into this?
No, but I'm going to guess someone paid him not to do it.
Well, yeah, kind of. Let's see. I have a video here. And it's Joe Rogan. Okay, Joe Rogan on TikTok.
Paul has rigged the Mike Tyson fight. It was bad enough that the rules extremely favored Jake, but now the contract is going to incentivize Mike to lose and give Jake an opportunity to choose himself as a winner. The first stipulation in the contract will punish Tyson for knocking out Jake because he's getting paid on a sliding scale per round. This means that if you were to knock Jake out in the first round, Tyson would be given no money at all. And if you were to knock him out in the second, he would only make a small amount of cash. So for Tyson to make the absolute most amount of money, he needs to survive all 8 rounds, which to a lesser fighter would mean avoid being knocked out. But for him, it means not knocking Jake out. And here's where it gets even worse. If this goes to a split decision, it massively favors Jake because the judges have to be approved by Jake. Obviously, they wouldn't want to use language where they say he can choose the judges, but if they need to be approved by Jake, that means he's going to be able to talk to them and make sure they're behaving.
So that says a lot. Now, I don't know if this is what was him speculating or if this was him with...
It sounded like he had evidence.
Yeah. And if that's the case, I don't blame Tyson because he got $20 million for not killing him, and he would have gotten a lot less for killing him. But I kind of, if this is true from what this says, it really taints his. It doesn't matter if it taints Mike's legacy because he's not going to be doing much fighting anyway at this point. And this propelled Jake into a new level of opponents and a new level. Now, I will say this: boxing, for the most part, is not exciting to anyone unless there's a name, like a Tyson, a Holyfield, a Foreman. Most people don't watch boxing for boxing. And what he did was he just pretty much turned it into a WWE fight. You know, he knew what the outcome was going to be. And the outcome was going to be he's not going to be knocked out. Because Tyson could have knocked him out many times. In fact, in the last round, he put his hands behind his back and expected Tyson to swing at him, and Tyson didn't. And that tells you a lot that this probably is true. Because, you know, he was just like, go ahead, hit me. So I really kind of believe this might be the reality of it all. And if it is, that means that they should be both fined because of it being set up, because boxing in general has been pretty much a legit sport. And so this is kind of controversial in that, you know, it shouldn't have happened. So on the other hand, the bad things that happened were, if you were to try to watch it, they were swamped so bad they didn't have the bandwidth. And they had 60 million households tuned in for this. And unfortunately, they had, I can't tell you what happened in the match before Tyson because I was logged on, but I lost my connection and I couldn't get logged back on till that match was over. So it would have been nice to have seen that, because I'll tell you, the women that were on the match before Tyson were really beating the living daylights out of each other. And so it was really a shame to watch these two beautiful women beating the living daylights out of each other. But hey, they're boxers. That's what they do. And I don't know who won, though, because I didn't get to see the ending, and I didn't want to watch it all over again. But it was WWE with boxing.
Scripted.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't scripted quite the way WWE does, but it was pretty much scripted. And it was, after the first round, it really lost its appeal to me because I knew something was wrong. So, I don't know. It's a shame. But Tyson, he got nothing to lose. If they suspend him for life, big deal. He's, you know.
He's $20 million richer.
Yeah. And Jake made $60 million off that, or something like that. Some obscene amount. It was at least 40. So, and he didn't deserve that. He just, I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame when he tampered with the contract. I would rather have seen what was going to really happen, because everybody was speculating who was going to win, and we'll never know, because I don't see there being a rematch. So, yeah. Just a shame. And but anyway, yeah, that clause was just really kind of blew everything out of the water. It just, all of a sudden, it just became a watching a movie, you know. Just like it was like watching Rocky, though, because when you watched the stuff, you'd see Jake working out in his really expensive house and his really expensive homemade gym and stuff. And stop it. Don't mess with the show. I'm telling you, I don't want to hear you crying. But yeah, it just turned out to be it was a joke because of that. And it's a shame, because it could have been something really good. And it would have been really nice if they would have let it play out the way it should have played out. I would have loved to see. I mean, even Jake still would have been a hero if he had been knocked out. Because he got knocked out by Mike Tyson. I mean, if you're going to get knocked out, let's get knocked out by the right person. So, I don't know. It just was sad that they did that. So, yeah, 60 million households for that fight. That's just a lot. That's the biggest amount of people that have logged in to their site ever at the same time. And they weren't really prepared for losing bandwidth, and they lost so much bandwidth that no one could, you know, they got it done for the fight. So the actual fight, whatever they had to do, whatever the switch it is that they made, they were able to bring it back just in time. But I don't know. It was kind of a shame. What's that? How do I join? Just go to that link I gave you. Just go to the link where you just join it. But yeah, it's just a shame that they had to taint it like that. Because it would have been awesome. It would have been awesome if they had just played it the way it should have been played. Because who knows? I mean, I would have liked to have known if Tyson would have been able to still go at this time. Because he looked massive. He looked awesome. So, I just think that it would have been nice to see it. But you can't, it's like the Stones said, you can't always get what you want.
Can't always get what you want.
So we'll really never know if Tyson would have won that. So, but I'm very disappointed by it, and it is what it is. So, all right, next, Lady Gaga is going to be now part of Wednesday, which I thought was interesting. Wednesday season 2. So that's kind of interesting to find out. She's doing more and more acting. It'd be kind of cool to see what she does. And it's going to be interesting what they do with her too, because Wednesday was going to school. What are they going to do with her now? Are they going to have her still at school, or is she going home? Where are we going to see her next? That's kind of an interesting thing for me. But I guess we're going to.
Did they give a release date?
I don't. Let's see. The Oscar and Grammy winner will have a role in the next Netflix, which is in production in Ireland. So details are being kept. So it's just, all we know is it's in production, so we're not going to know. And we know how that works because I'm still waiting to see Zero Day. So I'd like to see Zero Day before I die. It would be nice to see what they're going to do with it. But I would guess it will be, let's see here. Okay, it's season 1, over 13 weeks. Creator, okay, it doesn't really, I'm thinking if they're over there filming it now, you're probably looking at, I probably don't think that we'll see it before April, maybe. Maybe March. Maybe March. So it'll be interesting to see it though, because it says along with Ortega. Let's see here. It says here Hunter Doohan, Emma Myers, Joy Sunday, Louise Guzman, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Fred Armisen, Isaac Ordonez, and I can't pronounce that person's name. Says are set to return for Wednesday. Yeah, it doesn't have any dates because they probably don't even have any idea yet. But I'm looking forward to it. That was definitely a cool show, and I hesitated on watching it till I heard a lot of people loved it, and then I thought, okay, I guess I'll have to look at it then. And it was good. It was definitely good. So all right, so that's that. Did you happen to watch The Penguin?
I haven't seen it yet.
I really liked that show. That show was a cool show. They finished up their season. If you got Max, it's on Max for free. But it's a little dark, but I liked it. I liked the show. It was pretty interesting what they did with the Penguin, and interesting. I don't know how true it is to his main, his backstory. I don't know what his backstory was, but Colin Farrell was the guy that played the Penguin, and I liked how they ended up doing that because he played it. You couldn't even tell it was him with all the makeup. So I thought, wow, that's pretty cool because, usually you can figure out who it is, but even though I knew it was him, once I saw him without his makeup, I kept saying, how did he do that? How did he get us to like, because he was a ruthless guy in that show. So it was interesting to see how they did that. And the main characters, these two here, she, and this is the Penguin, she played a real heavy bad guy. Her family was the drug dealers, and they were in charge of the city, and basically he took them all down. And they all treated him like garbage, and he made sure that he won. And I thought that was interesting the way they did it. And he walked like a penguin, and it was really well done. So I liked it. It was definitely a fun show. So I think they're going to get, I would imagine they're getting another season out of it. So, I mean, they should, because they definitely did a good job on that. Let's see. Okay, so this, move this back. Then, the other thing that we could talk about that is kind of weird is that Rust is now out at the film festivals, and you think, if I was involved in that shooting, I would want to be as far away from that production as possible. I wouldn't have continued the production. I would have just said, maybe we don't. Maybe we need to quit while we're ahead, or quit while we're behind. But Baldwin's got some big cojones, because they actually released this movie at the film festivals, and let's see here. There we are, Resurrected Rust. So they actually changed some of the stuff about it. The family was actually okay with them continuing the movie. I'm really surprised about that. It says, in the spring of 2023, 18 months after a live bullet passed through cinematographer Halna Hutchins' chest and lodged in the director Joel Sousa's shoulder, in the making of Rust. Sousa was back on the set of the indie western, waiting to call action. He and his crew were setting up the crane shots of the two characters riding horses through the snow in a picturesque river valley in southern Montana. And paused to say, I remember saying that it would annoy Haunia, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Halyana, that we're standing around and not shooting, so let's shoot. So after that first shot was finished, I'm like, this is making movies. This is the part I know. This is the part that makes sense. But anyway, after they reached a settlement, they still continued to make the movie, and they still, are planning on, I guess, a full release of it. But they're not going to make money. They've lost so much money on this movie. I guess they decided what else, how much worse could it be? But I don't know. I just think that it was bad taste to release the movie.
There's no accounting for taste, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe maybe she didn't want it to not be released too, because it's a thing like in wrestling, you could get injured, but you still want the match to continue. But the whole thing is that he got lucky that he didn't go to jail for that. I still think it was a payoff involved in that, because that was just too ironic that happened. But they got their wrongful deaths, so I mean, they did have to pay money for that, and I don't know how much it was, but I don't know. It's just weird thinking that they released it anyway. I just think that it was probably wrong to release it. But I don't know. She may have wanted it to be released because if she was a true movie maker, what happens on the set they still want their art released. So I don't know. Maybe that's forward thinking, and I don't know. Okay. So the next thing. Where's my? There's my delete. Okay. Red One. I want to see this movie. This movie looks fun, and it looks like it is going to be it was just released. It opens to 34 million. Wow. Why do I have 34 here and 37, or 34 on mine and 32 here? All right. Well, 32 million according to this, and that has Dwayne Johnson, or The Rock, if you prefer. Chris Evans is in that, and it's a Christmas movie.
Somebody kidnaps Santa Claus.
Yes, and Santa Claus. I love Santa Claus. I love this guy's Santa Claus because this Santa Claus. Do you know who the guy is?
No.
He what was the name of that movie? He was well. First off, he was in Oz, and he was the Nazi, the evil Nazi, twisted Nazi that was in Oz, and he was evil. I mean, you couldn't be any more evil than that guy. But when he came out, he did that one movie about drumming. He was a drum instructor. And he was a mean, evil guy in that movie too. But I love that movie too. But you know, I just think that I would like to be as evil as him in the movies, because he's got that certain something that you just want to hate him. And anyway, so I'm trying to remember his name. It's driving me crazy because I don't remember his name. It's a couple letters. Let me see if it says it should say it in here. Okay. Let's see here. It doesn't say it. That would be too nice. They're not gonna be J.K. I want to say J.K. Rowlings, but I don't think that's right. J.K. Simmons is his name. He's such a good actor, and such an evil good actor, good evil actor, whatever it is. But yeah, I want to see him. I want to see him do well. Anyway, so Red One's performance will be closely monitored. It cost $250 million to make, and they opened to 32. But it's the Christmas season. They're going to make that back in leaps and bounds, because they opened on the day that on, I guess, last Friday. So they opened on the Jake Paul fight. It says here, overseas, Red One, which will need exceptionally strong legs to win theatrically, took $14.7 million from 75 markets. In its second outing, it took $50 million and $82.1 million globally. Amazon MGM, which wisely chose to open the film overseas to avoid direct showdown with Paramount's Gladiator 2. So really, actually, if that 82 is good, they're on their way to making their money back, and they're going to be, and I guarantee Elf has been running for 20 years, and everybody sees it every Christmas. I think this is going to be like another Elf, but not quite as funny as Elf. It'll be a little more violent, but maybe that's just me. But I would watch it. I would love to. I'm going to see that. I'm going to see that movie. I just don't know when I'm going to have time to, but I'm going to see that movie because it'll be a fun movie. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Then we got. Let's see here. Okay, come on, click. Okay, and then we got, it says how to block. First off, I want to Now, before I get into that, I'm going to get into this first. Stocks are doing great. I'm still at 346 for Tesla. So I'm down $4 from last week, but that's okay. I'm still up like tons, so I'm happy about that. I like when a plan comes through. Every once in a while, the good guys do win. Of course, I'm saying I'm a good guy.
Well, I was going to say.
I knew you were thinking it.
That's an assumption that not all of us hold, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of figured. When I figured you didn't jump right in, I thought, I guess I'm going to have to admit. It says here, U.S. market stocks close. The S&P 500 is plus 0.4. The Dow's minus 0.1. NASDAQ is plus 0.6. NASDAQ boosted by Tesla, with the EV makers' shares closing up nearly 6% on a report of the president-elect's Donald Trump seeking to relax the U.S. U.S. self-driving rules. So now it's funny that that this particular statement came up because, let me see if I can find the other article. Because there was another article that I read that was, it's got to be in here. It was talking about Pennsylvania wanting to make harder or more difficult self-driving rules. So I don't know. I don't have a problem with their putting stiffer rules in, because self-driving is kind of something that a lot of people aren't comfortable with. I am. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's gotten better over the years. It used to be back in the old days when I first got my car. When you go, say you were going down the highway 65, you try to get off the exit, or tell it to get off the exit, and it would get off the exit at 65. It would go too fast around those corners. It's not like that now. It's actually pretty smart, and it learns. And I really think that self-driving is really, it's like if you had 8 eyes on the road at all times. That's what you got, because you got 7 or 8 cameras that are looking out for you and looking to do whatever is right. And a human driver can be distracted. A computer can't be. So I think it's actually safer. And except it ran over that tire that cost me a lot of money. By the way, I got my...
After I get my car fixed, I'll be feeling your pain.
I'll bet you will. I was just going to... Well, I just got my American Express bill, and I looked at it, and I expected it to be a couple grand, and it said $8,000. I said, holy cow, what did I spend it on? And I totally forgot about the car. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what did I spend? Did someone steal my card? Did someone put something on my card that wasn't... And I was panicking, and I pulled up the thing, and I kept looking at it. I kept saying, okay, where's the big one there? And then it said 5,300. I said, oh, that one. I forgot about that one. Oops. Yeah, that was that's not a good one. That one definitely sent me over the edge. I thought, oh shoot, I got this one. I got this drive, or I got this trip coming up too. And I thought, what a time to have a trip. And it's going to be in New York, which is where I had an accident last year. Great. I'm happy about that. So, yeah. But, it is what it is. And I don't know. I'm still, I got a year to go on that lease. And I have time to think about what I'm going to get. But I'm either going to get a used car next year, or I'll buy a new one, but I'm not going to lease it because I want to keep my car. And, geez, I just can't believe they actually won't let us buy our cars unless we have to wait for them. And then they charge you extra because you're returning it, and then they're going to charge you extra when you go to buy it again. So I might as well just look for either a used one or a brand new one that I'll buy with my stock. So I don't care. They can keep their car. Screw them. All right, next. Let's see here. Do you have any entertainment news, or do you just have?
No, I don't have entertainment
Okay,
news.
then I'll just finish the entertainment, and then you can take over. Here was an article I saw today that I thought people might be interested in. It's how to block Trump from all your screens. It says here are step-by-step instructions on how to digitally silence the president-elect from your devices. But first, let's talk about whether you really want to do this. But I started laughing. I thought, okay, I could see people that, if you're a Democrat especially, that you want to not be butthurt on a daily basis. But, I do have to say, in all honesty, and I know he probably you can't change your colors that easily, but I know that that he wants you to believe that this is a kinder, gentler Trump, and I
think it's for show. It'll end.
Yes,
after
yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I mean, if he stays the same, that'd be cool, because then we don't have to worry about whether or not he's going to screw up the country. I mean, I think he'll do better than I know he'll do better than she would have done. The question is, what's collateral damage here? How bad is he going to mess with the other things that he doesn't believe in? Maybe he's the right person of the two. I just don't know that he would be the right. If I had a choice of someone else and I could pick someone else, I would pick me before I'd pick him, because I'm a nice person, no matter what you say.
I wasn't going to say a word.
Oh, come on. That's a first. Okay, here we go. Birthdays. Let's see how many you can get here. I only have a couple. Jimmy Kimmel.
59.
Yeah, you're really close. 57. Gerard Butler.
Don't know who he is.
He's an action star out of Britain, but he plays. He did the Black Hawk Down, and he did a couple what was that called? I don't know. He's a good. He's 55. Whoopi Goldberg.
75.
69. I didn't even realize that she was that old. She's a little bit older than I thought she was. But then again, I just think that people from Hollywood don't age.
Yeah, well, it's plastic.
Yeah, but she actually looks pretty good for her age. So,
wonders of cosmetic surgery.
Yeah. Joe Mantanga. He was always a guy that played the Italian guy. He's the rough Italian guy. I don't know if you know who he is or not.
I have no idea.
Okay, he's 77. Damon Wayans Jr., not senior.
Not senior.
Not senior. Not the one that was on In Living Color, but his son.
41.
He is, actually, you almost hit that on the nose. 42.
Wow.
Owen Wilson.
Don't know.
He was, who was his best friend? His best friend was, I can't even think of his best friend's name. He's one of those actors that, he had a lot of drug problems. I don't know if he does now, but he actually he's working for Disney as one of the, what is it? Disney has the the people in charge of the timeline. he's working in that. He actually is 56. How about Linda Evans?
I'm not sure I know her.
She was,
the name's familiar, but I'm not sure I know her.
She was in one of those soap operas in the 80s that were the one about Texas.
Dallas.
Dallas, yeah. She was in Dallas.
Then I'm going to say 77.
82.
82.
Yeah. Did you know there's a stamp coming out next year with Betty White?
Really?
That is cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
she was actually loved by a lot of people. And I liked her, and I thought she was pretty funny person. Actor and filmmaker John Krasinski named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. I almost won that. I came in second.
He edged you out.
Just by a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know how he could get away with that. But I thought I was going to win it this year. Dave Coulier, I don't know if you know him or not, but he was in Full House. He was a comedian in Full, and he also played in Full House. He was a comedian he was a stand-up guy. He did stand-up. Anyway, he reveals he has stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma cancer. So, I don't know. That sounds like a really horrible way to live.
Yeah.
So, I think that's all I have for entertainment. So, if you want to take the reins.
Well, I want to talk about first ladies. Did you know that not every president had a spouse that was a first lady?
How could they do that?
Martha Jefferson Randolph, the eldest daughter of Thomas Jefferson, was the first lady. Jefferson took office in 1801. He was a widower for 20 years. So his eldest daughter did the duties of first lady. And they were primarily social events. They hosted social events. First Lady Dolly Madison, she also did unofficial duties of First Lady for Jefferson. Andrew Jackson, whose wife Rachel died just months before his inauguration, asked his niece Emily Donaldson to be First Lady. So there's just a line of people early on in our history that either were widowers or never married, that had other people be first ladies. It isn't today, since Woodrow Wilson, there hasn't been anybody that hasn't been married.
Interesting.
But could be.
I didn't know any of that. That's all news to me. Huh. Interesting.
So you do not have to have a spouse as first lady. You could name a daughter or a niece.
I never even thought about that. But yeah, I didn't realize. I mean, what does a first lady do?
Well, she does. She gets pet projects.
Okay.
And Hillary when Hillary was first lady, she had positions in the White House.
Yeah.
That she oversaw.
But she was an actual politician, though. So.
Right. Some people say she was president.
Yeah. Well. I've heard that too.
But she actually had positions. That's very unusual. Well, that's not true. I think it was Roosevelt's wife ran the country when he was impaired, and of course Jill Biden. It is very well thought that she's running the country. Her and a couple of his chief of staff and 2 other people and Jill are running the country. So first ladies have different roles, just ceremonial to what Hillary was.
Yeah. And, I'm glad. I'm kind of glad that they let him finish his term and didn't impeach him. I just think it,
or invoke the 25th Amendment, which is when someone's impaired,
yeah.
you can remove them.
I'm kind of glad they did it because they could have made his life miserable and you know they're letting him go out on a. I mean, not that he really even probably knows, but letting him go out on a better term than they could have. But
Well, when he had Trump in the White House last week,
yeah,
did you see the smile on his face? He was so happy and nice.
yeah.
And his wife, Jill, when she went to vote, was wearing a red dress. So the suspicion is they voted for Trump.
For some reason,
because they hated Harris so much that they actually voted for Trump.
I actually believe that, and you know, it's so, you know, I am so frustrated. No, what word do I want? I think it's frustrated at the people that are still whining and crying. I'm going to leave the country. I just leave the country. I don't care. You know, it would have been worse if she would have won. It absolutely would have been worse. And even my friend Rich is so like blinded by whatever he sees. I don't know what he sees, but you know, he just thinks that Harris would have been better. And there's no. It's not that I'm not a Republican. I'm kind of independent. I mean, I am registered as a Republican because when I registered a couple of years ago, I registered as a Republican. But I just I hate to think what this country would be headed for if she won, because it would have been horrible. But you know, the nice thing is we don't have to worry about that now, and she can go her own way and. It's not like she has to work. I mean, she's probably got plenty of money stashed away in businesses and stuff.
Well, she gets a pension that's almost exactly what she made as vice president.
Mm.
She gets free health insurance, the best in the country.
Yeah.
And she'll get speaking engagements.
Yes.
And she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton is worth, okay, don't quote me on this, but I think that Barack Obama made $13 million very quickly after he left office.
Jeez.
So you can make a lot of money as the next president.
Oh, yeah.
Or vice president.
Yeah. I don't think that any of those people are going to be sitting in the welfare line.
No.
It wouldn't look good for our country for that to happen. So, it's sad, but it is. It is what it is. All right, what else you got?
Well, Oprah Winfrey did a open town hall for Harris.
Yes.
They paid her $2.5 million for that.
Unbelievable.
This was not free work. In fact, almost every Hollywood actress or actor that came out and did something for Harris got money paid from, and they're looking into it. The Federal Election Commission is looking into it because some of it may have been illegal.
Well, the thing is, you know, looking at that, okay, so if I was so pro somebody, whoever it would be, I would do it for free just because I want them to get in and I want people to realize that. But when I heard that these people were paid, you know, all this money for endorsing the candidate, that's sad to me, because if you really want that candidate in, you're going to do it for free. You know, this isn't, if you go to the Super Bowl and you're playing at the Super Bowl, guess what? You're playing for free.
That's right.
So,
Exactly right.
if you know, and the Super Bowl is like one of the biggest events ever, and they don't get paid. Michael Jackson didn't get paid to play the Super Bowl, you know, and I just think it's sad that these people got paid, because if you really wanted to endorse a candidate, you wouldn't need money, and most of those people don't need the money. Oprah by far does not need the money, but that's what it took to get her to show up and be part of that thing, and it's sad. It's sad to me. So I'm very sad about that whole thing. That because I heard about that and I said, what of all people, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, and I get $2.5 million. So, why couldn't they give me $2.5 million? I don't think I would have done it. I wouldn't have done it for Harris for any number, because I just don't think that she's the person. And my conscience.
And neither did 76 million other people.
Yeah. And now these people that are going to move out of the country, big deal. We won't see you. We won't miss it.
Yeah. Trump's worth a couple billion. Why doesn't he just pay their way out of the country?
Right. Yeah. He got in. Well, what was it? Yeah, they were giving Elon Musk a hassle about his $1 million a day lottery. He wasn't saying you have to vote for it. You just had to sign the Constitution or the whatever it was, the amendment that didn't have anything to do with the election. Now we all know that it just is a psychological thing, but hey, you could have beaten the system by signing that piece of paper and winning the $1 million. Yeah. This has been the weirdest election. I'm so glad it's over.
I saw one. Yeah, but the lawsuits have just begun.
Yeah, well, we know they're not going to let him go. They're not going to ever let him breathe. He's going to have to work with this crap that he's got to deal with. But I know as a man that he will do what he said he was going to do. He's going to try to,
or at least try.
He's going to make an attempt at doing, because he's a businessman too, and that's the one thing that I did find interesting was, he's going to actually be a businessman, and he's going to actually try to work things out. So, I don't know. I would think that this is just a power thing for him. I mean, what else? Why else would he do it? Other than making more money.
So Trump is hell-bent on dismantling the Washington power structure, which drug him through the mud for, 9 years?
Yeah.
And they were shocked. Everyone is shocked that Matt Gaetz was nominated, designated as Attorney General, because he is going to blow up the Justice Department, because Trump wants revenge. And Gaetz is not qualified to be Attorney General.
Yeah.
He practiced law for about a minute and a half multiple years ago. And what he is a flamethrower. And he is there to tear up the Justice Department. And it's on revenge.
Well,
he's not going to get confirmed by the Senate.
Yeah.
Too many Republicans don't like him.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was weird. Didn't he have some kind of sexual thing that he was in trouble for?
It is alleged that he likes high school girls.
Yeah. I thought so. It was something weird about that. That follows you. That tends to follow you, like the police.
And he resigned right before.
I was trying to remember if that was him or not. Yeah.
The ethics committee was going to come out.
Jeez.
Because he doesn't want the ethics committee to come out report.
Jeez.
Which kind of leads you to think there's something to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Peter Hegseth is a Fox News personality.
Okay.
And he was nominated for Secretary of Defense. And he's there specifically to weed out any woke officers.
Oh.
And fire. And anyone who ever commiserated with General Miley, the one that accused him of being a Nazi,
yeah,
they're gone. If Hegseth gets in, he's going to clean house. Dr. Fauci and all his people are going to be gone.
Yep.
And Bobby Kennedy Jr. is going to just completely decimate the CDC and all those people that forced us to wear masks and stay indoors.
See, to me, that's a waste of time.
Close our businesses. They're all going to be gone.
I think that's more of a waste of time than, I mean, I think our resources should be used for other things that are more important
Well,
than that.
this is revenge.
Yeah, I know.
And this is one of the things that, people, mega people love it. Mega people want this. But I'm not so sure I want it. I want the best and the brightest in these
Right.
positions.
Yes.
I don't want political hacks in these positions. I want the best and the brightest.
Absolutely.
And they can be conservative, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they can be conservative, but I want the best and the brightest in there. And Getz and Hegseth are not the best for these positions. Although Hegseth is a two-time bronze medal winner. He was in the Army.
Okay.
And he won the bronze medal twice. So he's a hero.
Yeah.
He's a true life hero. But he's never managed anything. I mean, the Pentagon is huge. It's the biggest bureaucracy on earth.
Right.
And you got to know how to manage these things. And he has no management experience whatsoever.
Hmm.
And in the Salvation Army, you go from a $400,000 budget to an $800,000 budget, and then when you conquer that, you move up to a $1.5 million budget, and when you conquer that, you move up to a $3 million budget. You work your way up.
Hmm.
You don't jump from a $400,000 budget to a $3 million budget.
Right.
Right? You just don't do that.
Right.
And that's the trouble with Hegseth, is that he's in there to destroy the woke military and take it back to war fighting, which I agree with. But there's more to the job than that. They lost. They cannot find $800 billion. They've done these audits for a number of years, and they're down to $800 billion that the Pentagon doesn't know what they did with it.
That's a little. That's a little bit of money.
That's a little bit of money. Yeah, and they can't. The auditors can't tell you where it went. Now, it probably went to black objects. It probably went to trying to revive aliens and the UFOs. It's probably where it went. But, they're having these hearings in Congress right now on people coming out and saying that they know somebody who knows somebody that saw an alien in possession, in the government's possession.
Jeez.
Right? There's no facts, right? There's no first-hand accounts. And but anyhow, $800 billion.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money to lose. And you got to have somebody that can manage that and try to get it so they never lose that kind of money again.
Yeah, that's
right?
a lot of money to lose.
That's almost $1 trillion.
Just shy. Jeez.
So, and then we have Elon Musk and Ramaswamy going to be running the BOGE, which is the Bureau of Government Efficiency. Bureau of Government Efficiency. And they're into closing things. They're into shutting down programs that are duplicates. There's, you don't realize, but for years I followed some of the awards that they hand out for government waste. And there are bureaucracies within the federal government that duplicate each other. They overlap and duplicate each other.
Jeez.
And one of them needs to go. And this BOGE is going to try to identify which one of these two are supposed to go. Right? The savings will be enormous.
Well, he ends up pulling this stuff off. It'll definitely add to his legacy.
Yes, it will.
And that's what I think he really wants. He wants people to remember him as someone that gets things done.
Right. So, just mega people believe the majority of Americans want him to avenge the political corruption and want him to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
And You know, he wants to appoint all these people in a recess appointment. That would mean from the time of Christmas until the inauguration, and afterwards, the Senate and the House aren't in session. And he wants to, the day one when he gets in office, he wants to appoint all these people in a recess appointment. So they don't have to go through Senate confirmation. Because it took him 2 years to get his people in last time he was in.
Okay.
And he gave him only 2 years to get done what he wanted to get done. And this time he wants to have 4 years.
Okay.
Because the Senate will stall.
Yeah.
The Senate will stall because they don't want Trump to have his way.
Right. See, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're not doing it because it's a bad idea. They're doing it to get at him. And that's just the wrong, that shows that we have the wrong people in office.
Right. I agree with you, Mike. We have selfish partisans in office that don't have the country's best interest at heart.
Right.
They just have the Democratic Party or Republican Party at heart.
Right.
They don't have the people at heart.
It's a sad thing.
So, and then the last topic I have is that President Biden finally approved, this could be a bad thing or a good thing, but long-range missiles could be shot by Ukraine deep into Russian territory.
Wow.
U.S. missiles. The good thing is that it'll help Ukraine possibly win the war, because they're going to hit Russia military bases, and oil structure, energy structures, and it can reach Moscow.
Wow.
These missiles. The bad side is that it could start World War III.
That would be bad, yes.
That would be bad. The other thing that's happened is that the Hermit Kingdom, you know what I mean by the Hermit Kingdom?
No, I don't.
That's North Korea.
Okay.
Kim Jong-un is the little hermit, and it's his kingdom. And he has sent 11,000 North Korean troops out to Russia to fight in the Ukraine war.
Wow.
And so President Biden, in revenge of that, has approved these missiles to be used by Ukraine. Ukraine's been after the United States to let them use these missiles for months and months and months. And Biden's been scared, the United States has been scared of starting World War III. But when they put all these North Korean troops into service for the Russian army, the Russian cause, that made Biden change his mind. And it is very scary.
Yeah. Wow.
Very scary.
That gives me...
So that's my piece. That's my piece. That's what I got for you today.
That's some heavy stuff there.
Yes.
Don't have any lighthearted stuff, do you?
Okay. I do have something lighthearted, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Tricks grocery stores use to influence you to buy.
Okay.
Okay. One is displaying items from different aisles together, like chocolate syrup in with the ice cream.
Okay.
All right. And marshmallows in with the graham crackers.
That makes sense.
Right? And red pepper flakes in with frozen pizza.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So that you walk in and you go, ice cream? Oh, I need chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
Pizza? Oh, I need red pepper flakes.
Yep.
Right?
That's it.
And then displaying full price items like they're on sale. So what you have is a sales tag, and they'll put the original price on the sales tag. You thinking that that's a sale.
Right.
But it's not a sale. Bait and switch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And then stocking essential items in the back. Your milk, eggs, and bread are all in the back.
Okay.
Right? Of the store, you got to walk down. And then they put expensive items at eye level. So you don't have to look down, you don't have to look up. It's right there in front of you.
Hmm.
Right? And then free samples. You walk in, you get a free sample of cheese, you buy the cheese.
Yep. That's the exact reason that they have it there. They expect you
Yep.
to, oh, well, would you like some? Would you like to buy some? Yeah. Make it worth their while. Yep. That's what they do.
Well, that's my lighthearted one for the day.
All right. Well, I'm going to start out with a good one then. How about
Okay.
the spherical UFO from New Jersey? I just think
Wow.
that's crazy. I mean, they have a video here. I'm going to see if it'll play. They have a video here that just kind of knocked my socks off because, you know, if you believe in UFOs, you got to believe in UFOs because they're just unidentified. It doesn't mean that you believe in space aliens or anything. But this is a really, if it is indeed legit, it has all the things of what we've talked, or what everyone reports in the past as being a true UFO. So they do have. Let me see. So here you see it there, but they actually have a video. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, so I'll try to make this as big as I can. Come on, expand. Okay, I can expand it again now. Hold on it. And it was broad daylight. So what we see here's the thing. It's booking. It's booking. And it's not a normal. It's like it truly is not anything that we have developed. I'm trying to see where it's at. Where's it at? There. I think it's there. So, but it's round, and it moves in weird position. It doesn't just go straight. It goes in left, right, up, down. It's just. I wish if you could see this on you can't. I know I got the lines on the screen. You can't see it, but I'll put the link to this it's really interesting to see it move because it moves very fast, moves up and down, left, right at a just a drop of a hat. So it's crazy. But the thing about this is that I'm thinking, well, we've got a lot of ways that we could do this. And I see this on Skinwalker Ranch, and I see this on other UFO programs and things like that. So I believe that it could be true, but it's just so bizarre and so strange that we don't have. We think we're all this. We think we're really technologically advanced, but we have no way of proving it one way or another, and no way to identify this thing. That's why it's unidentified. But still. When I see this and I see the path that thing takes, it's really bizarre to think that this could be. And why are they flying like this? Why aren't they just doing a straight path? Why are they going up and down, left, right, and all that? Are they trying to show off their technology? What's the deal with this? You just wonder. It makes you wonder about it because it's a lot weirder than I would expect. So. I'm going to put that address in Facebook so that people can watch that. Plus, I will put it in the chat room, I think, maybe. Let's see here. But yeah, it's just so strange. It's so strange to see this kind of thing out of nowhere. But, I mean, they definitely have us pegged as someone that believes something's going on, and shame on them, because if we're that inferior of a of a life form, to actually show that to people as to panic them, that's very uncool. They should have just been doing it just to show. I mean, just spy on us. Don't make us freak out. So, But yeah, that supposedly is real. So that was 11/11 that happened. So that was only a couple days ago. All right, now let's go down here, and I got all kinds of weird stuff. History. President James Garfield was born in 1831. President Abraham Lincoln delivers the Gettysburg Address in 1863.
Did you know how many words were in that address?
No.
275.
How do you know that?
Because I read it on 1440.
Wow. Oh, okay. I probably would have known that had I read that. Let's see here. What else we got?
No, I'm sorry. I heard it on Mo News. Mo News is unbiased.
I didn't. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't see that on 1440, but that's.
It was Mo News. It's a non-biased podcast.
Oh, okay.
News podcast. Yeah.
All right. Also, Indira Gandhi, first and only female prime minister of India, was born in 1917. Actor Meg Ryan was born in 1961. Rosalind Carter died in 2023 this week. Abolition and women's rights activist Sojourner Truth was born in 1797. Poet and novelist Margaret Atwood was born in 1939. 918 people die in a mass murder attempt or mass murder suicide. Do you remember when that was?
Jonestown?
Yes, that was Jonestown in 1978.
78.
That's hard.
That's a long time
I remember
ago.
that, man. I was thinking, why? Why would you drink that? Why would you want to kill yourself like that? But hey, in the same sense, I was sitting back thinking, but what if these spaceships came down and saved them? But I didn't believe in either spaceships or Jim Jones or whatever his name was.
James Jones. Yeah. Jim Jones. Who was Jim Jones?
Yeah, if you know him, if you knew him, he was Jim. He was Jim to me. But anyway, let's see here. Massachusetts court ruling makes the state the first to recognize same-sex marriage in 2003. Moby Dick was first published in 1851. Albert Einstein presents quantum theory of light in 1908. Booker T. Washington dies in 1915. Condoleezza Rice was born in 1954. Walt Disney's groundbreaking animated film Fantasia premieres in 1940. Montgomery bus boycott pushes U.S. Supreme Court to rule Alabama bus segregation illegal in 1956. First close-up photo of Saturn sent back from a spacecraft Voyager 1 in 1980. The Articles of Confederation was adopted by Continental Congress in 1777. See, at least I'm being nice and saying, what year do you think it was? Because that would be mean. That would be really mean, because I wouldn't have gotten any of these right. Artist Georgia O'Keeffe, I don't know. He was born in 1887. 2 million people protest Vietnam War across the U.S. in 1969. And the world population topped 8 billion in 2022. So
8 billion people.
Just hard to believe.
And most of them are dirt poor.
Oh, man. So then we got... this is kind of interesting. A gold Titanic era pocket watch. How much do you think it's worth?
$2 million.
The answer is $2 million. Look at that. I'll tell you what, that's crazy. $2 million for a pocket watch. Probably doesn't even run anymore. It was underwater.
It was underwater, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's just.
Now, who would pay $200 million for a waterlogged clock?
Well, I don't think I would, but then again, I don't have it, so that would explain it. It's just crazy, though. I mean, some people have just too much money. So, let me see here. So that's that. Chick-fil-A is going to have an entertainment app. I'm thinking, what kind of entertainment is Chick-fil-A going to have with this app? Because, I mean, make your own, I don't know. Make your own chicken? I don't know. It just seems kind of funny that somebody would make an app for Chick-fil-A, but I guess I can understand it. I got to find the link didn't go through the way I wanted it to. Now I got to go back to my page. My one dog's making a lot of noise.
Can't hear him.
Oh, yeah, she's over there mumbling about something. I don't know what she's probably mumbling about, the fact that this had to be edited because it didn't work out right. Edit post. There it is. Okay. Well, paste. Darn it. There we go. Oh, didn't do it anyway. That's not right. Okay. Now I forget what it was. Oh. Is it that? Yeah, okay. That's what it is. Now, I gotta go back there. Darn it. Okay. Grab this. Copy. Knew there was a reason I do this ahead of time. Okay, put this up here now. Now we'll put it in. Insert. There we go. Now, let's see here. This is really strange. Person in a bear suit attacks cars in an insurance fraud scheme.
I heard about that.
What in the world? What is wrong with these people? He had claws and everything. 4 people in...
It was a good bear suit.
Was it? What, did they show it? Let's see here. Well, that's just a commercial. Let's see if they show this. 4 people have been charged with insurance fraud and a conspiracy after claiming their cars were vandalized by a bear. Okay, what am I watch? Is there something going on that I should see?
There's a bear inside the car.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's kind of weird. Ah.
But there's the suit. When they raided the guy's house, there was the suit.
And there's his claws, too. That's pretty weird. Southern California.
They caught him tipping his face up, and they got a picture of his face.
Jeez. 4 people in Southern California.
His head up.
They were arrested. Okay, so they... Oh, wow, that's pretty weird. What happened to the Chick-fil-A app? Oh. Well, I mean, I don't understand what the Chick-fil-A app is, really. I mean, it's kind of... I'll go back to that. Hold on, I'll go back to the Chick-fil-A app. Let me see here. Got to get the bear suit guy in here first. All right. Chick-fil-A app. And then I need the... Where'd it go? There it is, person. Okay, there's the bear. There's the bear app. All right, now I'll go back to the Chick-fil-A. Come on. There we go. Now, Let's go back and see. Let's see what that Chick-fil-A app was really all about, because all it says is they got a Chick-fil-A app, and I was making fun of the fact that they have an app that, where is it? Chick-fil-A. There it is. Okay. The entertainment app. All right. Oh, I didn't bring it up, did I? Oh, Chick-fil-A brings... All right, now I'm confused. Okay. Chick-fil-A is bringing back a wintertime favorite that's cool in more ways than one. The chicken chain just announced that its holiday offerings, which include the returning of a peppermint chip milkshake, other one-time minty items. Well, what's that got to do with the app? Maybe that's the things that you can get on the app. Social medias have been asking to put the milkshake back on the menu for months. It doesn't say what it's... Oh, here it is. There it is. November 18th, Chick-fil-A Play will be available to download for free from any app store. Load it with family-friendly content. Video content, games, podcasts, games, and recipes. Chick-fil-A is the leading app premiere with leading the app premiere with the first episode of its brand new series, Legends of Evergreen Hills, which will first become available on its YouTube channel. It's a 5-part, 22-minute animated series, will be released weekly, with the remaining 4 episodes becoming available exclusively on Chick-fil-A Play. And Chick-fil-A holiday merchandise for fried chicken fans. What's it say? Bait and switch. Go for game and buy a shake? I don't know what a shake is. A chicken? I don't know. Anyway, it's chicken filet. You can shop at chickfila.com too and get jewelry, accessories, chicken decorations, and chicken wrapping paper and stuff like that. So I guess that's I don't understand. I mean, maybe people will do their Christmas shopping at Chick-fil-A. Oh, man. It's pretty funny.
Well, they're going into animation.
Yeah,
Crazy.
That's an expensive thing to be going into. So, okay, so I can delete these 3 here. I can delete these 3 here. Okay.
Why would Chick-fil-A want to expand into animation?
Because it's kids. Kids will like it. And it's wholesome Christian animation, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
There's no gay people. There's no gay people in that animation. And it's not available Sundays. This is interesting. Chinese EV maker XPeng debuts a $280,000 flying car. How about that? So XPeng's land aircraft carrier features a unique modular design consisting of ground-based vehicle called Mothership and the detachable aircraft for flight. Well, that doesn't sound like it's a flying car. It sounds like there's a thing in your car. It says XPeng has taken a step into the future of transportation with the first public flight of its groundbreaking modular flying car, the land aircraft carrier. This innovative vehicle, priced at 2 million yen, which is $280,000, is slated for delivery in 2026. Developed by XPeng subsidiary XPeng Aero HT, the land aircraft carrier seamlessly integrates ground and air travel, offering a unique and convenient mode of transportation. Now, if I was working, I would love to have one of them if I had to be somewhere on time. So, actually, I still would like one of those, because then I could get to wherever I wanted to go quicker. Wouldn't have to fight the traffic. So,
yeah, the Dolphin Arrows traffic.
That gets bad if that one road is blocked. We can't get through. And I got stranded in Dauphin at least twice. There were 2 floods. There's only one road that comes in and out. So if your roads are, I was stuck in Dauphin when I used to work. There was a flood. There were 2 floods. The one was when was after Pam died, and the one was before Pam died. Both times I was actually trapped at my house. I couldn't leave town.
You can't go up and go out the back way.
It was Marysville. I could have gone down Marysville, but the problem was everybody was going down Marysville. It actually took me 4 hours to get to work when I went down Marysville. But if you went north, there's that one that meets 81 way up the highway. That would take me, I think, 2 hours to get to work, and I worked 10 minutes from here. So right. The third time that it happened, I just stayed home. I didn't bother. I wasn't going to bother driving that far for that long because I'd get there for 4 hours. I might as well stay home and enjoy my vacation time. So, but anyway, there's a picture of the Aereo. That's pretty cool. This fits in the back of this, so it kind of looks like a Cybertruck. But the helicopter fits in the back of the Cybertruck or whatever that is called. So I don't know. That would be an interesting thing. I can't imagine it being efficient though, because you got to think that it doesn't. It looks like it only has room for one person, which is okay. Because when I went to work, I only had to go as one person. But it's not really big enough to put anything in it besides yourself. Yeah. I don't know, but $280,000. I think I'll pass on that.
You could pass on that.
I wonder how many miles you could get on that though, because I mean, I'm assuming that. Well, is this electric? Is this electric? Yeah, it's electric. So it's electric. So you would fly your 300 miles. You would stop at a Tesla charge station, get filled up. Okay, maybe I'm interested. Maybe I'd be interested in that. That would be interesting because you could actually fly across the country relatively quickly with that. Because you figure you're gonna probably do 150 to 200 miles an hour when you're flying. So okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe.
gonna totally discard it, but probably not gonna get one. Probably.
Looks like they stole the design of the car
Yeah.
from Tesla.
It does look like that, but I'm sure they did too. Because I mean, geez, it's funny that would happen.
Chinese, everything they have is stolen.
Yeah. I would think that would be a real pain in the butt though to get in and out of that car. But probably not. They probably figured a way to do it. Okay, I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in. I would get that, but I can't afford it. I don't have $280,000 to spend on that. Did I tell you I got an agent?
Yes.
Okay. This is it took me a while to get everything to them because they said my resume wasn't formatted to come out right. And I looked at it and yeah, that was for it seemed to format strange, but I got everything worked out. I sent them the videos they needed. I sent them the resume. I sent them the pictures. They were happy with the pictures I chose for my profile. So now I just see how well they can do this. If they can keep me working without me having to spend 2-3 hours a day on listings, that means I can do other things like, acting things, like learning more about acting and all that. So, and actually I got to go to New York in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is. And we're supposed to learn a Shakespeare monologue. You don't have any idea how bad I hate to do that. Because I was looking at them and I'm like, there's a lot of Shakespeare stuff, and all the Shakespeare stuff is not in normal English because
not a bit.
It just is, if it was in normal English, I could do it. But, oh man. But I'm thinking of doing the, one I was thinking of doing was, what was it? I'm going to cheat. I can look at it right here. I found what's that?
I was going to say something, but just hang on, finish your thought.
Well, basically, I've got a list of there's a book out called, freaking I can't even think of the name of the book. Hold on, I'm going to pull up the thing that I wanted to, let's see. No, it wouldn't be that. It would be under, oh, that's why I'm looking on the wrong stuff. Here it is. Monologues. There it is. It's, where is it? I don't, it's not there. Oh. Well, there's a book that talks about certain monologues being that are easier than other. Oh, that's why I didn't. There it is. Here it is. This book is called. Oh, I didn't put it in here yet. I don't know what the book's called now. I can't remember. Anyway, I found this one website. It's on Shakespeare monologues, and the one I was looking at doing is Hamlet, the famous "To Be or Not to Be," and the reason that they say that Shakespeare's good practice for learning how to act. Do you have any reason why? Do you know what the reason why people say you should learn Shakespeare?
Yeah.
The reason, and I figured this out on my own, so I don't know that this is the real reason, but this is the reason I decided. Shakespeare starts you in one place. And what they do is, as you're talking, you're thinking through and discovering things as you're speaking. So like, in reality, you know what it is because you've read it through. But if you were actually doing the monologue for the first time, like for instance, it says, "To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis not nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing them." So this guy's thinking out loud when he's saying this, and he starts discovering more and more things. He discovers a hatred for something or a love for something, and they take you on an emotional journey on each of these monologues. So you can't stay in one frame of mind through a monologue like theirs, which is really cool because I didn't realize it till I started reading these things why people like to learn Shakespeare. And the reason is the journey is not the same all the way through. He takes you from wondering why something is, to maybe hating something, to loving something, to, they take you on that emotional journey. So if you can do Shakespeare with an emotional journey, you can do anything. And even though the acting is quite a bit different in the way that you would look at the acting, it's really, I'm learning that it teaches you to think through what you're doing, and so you would be like, to be or not to be. And then you wait a second. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die. It's like, each time he's thinking to die, or like William Shatner, you've got to save the ship. There's a lot of pauses in there because you're changing your emotion on the fly. And I kind of now get why they do it. Because last acting class, had two guys doing Shakespeare, and I thought, why are these people doing this? And I remembered that I have to do a Shakespeare for New York, and I thought, well, okay, I'm going to look up each of these, and I'm going to read it along with him and figure out how I would have said it. And as he went through the different things, I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of discovery on that, and that's why people do it, because they actually learn to reveal little by little how it would be in a real conversation with yourself, how it would be, how you would discover, like to die and and to sleep no more. And by sleep, to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks. So we're, again, discovering new things and bringing them to light to everyone that's listening. And I kind of like that idea, but I really hate the fact that these things are so long. And I found a short Shakespeare thing. And I thought I could go in there and just do the short thing. Hi, Christina, or Christine. I could do the short one, but that's not going to be. I'm not going to get away with doing that because I know the guy that's holding this is very accomplished in what he does, and he was in The Warriors. If you remember that movie in the '80s, Thomas G. Waits was the guy. His name is not even in the credits of The Warriors because he didn't want to be affiliated with that film. And that turned out to be the big film of his life that everybody knows him for. So I met him a couple years ago in L.A., and he's doing a workshop for our New York thing. So I was thinking, well, maybe I need to learn one of these stupid things. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's kind of funny because it's never anything that I would have thought I would be interested in learning. But after reading through the Shakespeare, I thought maybe this is something that'll help me become a better actor. So Thomas G. liked me. Of course he does. Of course he does. He loves you. He wants more from you than you could ever give. This guy, when I saw him, it was funny because he really hasn't changed since he was in that movie, which was, like I said, the 80s. But he carried a guitar with him, and he had it, on his, and he had everybody lay down on the floor. And we did this exercise where we were all laying down on the floor, and we were listening to what he was saying and stuff, and doing these different exercises and stuff. But I kind of get it now that, I've actually started reading through some of the scripts and stuff. And I found this site that has all of the, well, not all of this Shakespeare, but Shakespeare monologues, and you can browse through it as a man or as a woman, and it gives you the stuff so that you can do it. So it's really kind of cool. I'm kind of scared because I feel out of my element doing Shakespeare, but maybe it'll be okay. So I'd rather speak English, though, not old English, current English. So.
Well, this is why the King James Version, which is as close to Shakespeare as the Christian Bible gets,
yes,
has newer versions because people have to learn another language when they read the King James.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, suck it up, sweetheart. I get abused everywhere I go. It's like nobody has any sympathy for me. Nobody has any empathy for me. Suck it up, Okay.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. All right. Of course, Thanksgiving is next week.
Yes, it is.
I got fun facts about Thanksgiving. How many do you know? That's the question. Fun, let's see here. Bam. Ho, la, wah, wah. Okay. Thanksgiving facts for 2024. Average person spending over a 5-day Thanksgiving period. How much do you think it is?
I have no idea.
It says
$300.
Good. You got it. $321. Hours of time the average American male would need to spend on a treadmill to burn the 4,500 calories consumed at the average Thanksgiving meal. How many hours do you think?
35.
35 hours? 10 hours.
Yeah. 10 hours.
10 hours.
Well, I could do that.
Estimated amount of American
over about a year.
Estimated amount Americans spend on Thanksgiving turkeys each year, with 46 million turkeys killed for the holiday.
Oh my goodness, millions.
Oh, at least $1.2 billion of
Oh
turkeys.
man.
Amount of property loss caused by residential building fires each Thanksgiving. Hey, we only give the facts here. This is Trash Talker Radio. We only give the facts.
I have no idea, but it's got to be expensive.
$26 million is what it costs to $26 million. But keep in mind that there were 20, what did I say, 20, there were billions of turkeys killed. Let's see here. Share of people celebrating Thanksgiving who try to avoid having to talk politics at the dinner table.
Everyone.
I think it's funny. 61% is that one. I think it's funny that they actually came up with these things, because I never would have even.
There was an Ivy League psychologist who came out and said, "Don't invite people that don't think like you to Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Stay away from them."
That's funny. That's to me pretty good stuff. All right, next. Okay, next. Oh, here we go. Thanksgiving by the numbers. Thanksgiving history. 1621 was the first year of Thanksgiving celebration. October 3rd, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed Thanksgiving a national holiday. 1989, first year a president officially pardoned a turkey. In 1989, that was George H.W. Bush. Bush. 2 turkeys are sent to the White House each year. You had to have a backup turkey, and one was pardoned. 4 U.S. towns are named Turkey. Average number of calories consumed on Thanksgiving, 3,150 to 4,500 calories.
That's all the pies and
Yep.
mashed potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Rich is in the room. Christine says, "Burn, baby, burn," and Rich Butler says, "FK political circus." Yes. Number of calories consumed by Americans at Thanksgiving every year from turkey alone is 8.3 billion calories. 13% of Americans plan to go get takeout from a restaurant or go to eat for Thanksgiving. I think that's what I did. No, 2 years ago I did that. The average cost of a 10-person Thanksgiving dinner. Now it's got to be per person, I would imagine. So $61.17.
17.
That sounds like each person.
That's each person.
That would mean if you had 10 people there, that's $610 worth of food. Rich has the right idea. He's going to have Chinese. 150K is the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner. 2018, New York City's Old Homestead Steakhouse. $150,000. 47 million estimated turkeys killed each Thanksgiving. 54% of Americans say they will try adding new side dishes for the menu. 100,000 plus questions are answered by Butterball Turkey Hotline each November and December. See, there's your job. If you needed a side job,
there's a side job right there.
Yeah, I mean,
answering turkey questions.
It's only worth two months, but you only work for 2 months. Number of guests, average number of guests, including household members, are 9. Wonder why it's 9. That's a weird number.
It is a weird number.
Okay, Americans' favorite Thanksgiving dishes. 83% say it's the turkey. 78% mashed potatoes, 78% or 77% is stuffing or dressing, 74% bread or rolls, 65%, sweet potatoes or yam, and 52% are cranberry sauce. Most essential Thanksgiving food, 68% of Americans will have turkey. 50% will serve mashed potatoes or dressing. 41% will have gravy. I would think 100% would have gravy. If you don't have gravy at a
You gotta have gravy. You can't have. What are you gonna put on your turkey and your mashed potatoes?
yeah, pies, pie-tastic. It said 23% pumpkin, 5% of blueberry, 5% cherry, 6% chocolate pie, 8% are sweet potato, 12% are apple, 14% are pecan, 27% is other. 56% of Americans say offering meat-free options for Thanksgiving is important. Thankful Toast, wine, beer, whiskey is 1, 2, and 3. 3.1% average number of drinks consumed by men on Thanksgiving. 2.4 is the average number of drinks consumed by women. 87% of Americans say they celebrate Thanksgiving. You know who the other 13% are?
Turkeys.
American Indians.
Oh, yes.
Native Americans. They say, well, give us our country back. 60% of Americans plan to host or consider hosting Thanksgiving. 24% say the high cost could deter them from hosting again next year. 361 average amount hosts spend on, we already talked about that. 9.6 hours amount of time spent preparing. 17.71% average cost of a 16-pound whole frozen turkey. $1.2 billion estimated amount spent on turkeys each year. 66% prefer their turkey baked. 63% of Americans don't plan on brining their turkey. Is brining a word?
Brining is a cooking word.
53% of Americans say they eat leftovers for 2 to 3 days after hosting Thanksgiving. 20% of people will take part of a Friendsgiving gathering. 61% of Americans think Thanksgiving is not a good time to discuss politics with the family. No kidding.
Especially in this cycle.
That's right. We already talked about that. 200 million, a record number of shoppers over a 5-day weekend, Thanksgiving 2023. That's because we were stuck at home for the previous 2 years. 55% of Thanksgiving weekend shoppers said deals drove them to buy. 49% of people buying holiday gifts get clothing or accessories. You know, it's funny. When I used to work, there was a woman that her name was Cicely. She had a whole idea of how she was going to go shopping. She had to be there at like 6 a.m, and it was just crazy stuff, the strategies that she had to buy this stuff. And she had a group of people that she would go with, and they would all just, the minute the stores open, they would just jump in there and just buy everything they could buy. Me, I'll buy whatever's left. I don't want to fight people over stuff. 49%
You don't have to with Amazon.
Yeah.
Black Friday week.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah. She liked doing that stuff. I can't imagine liking to be in...
To fight everybody for trinkets.
Yeah, and the people really do fight. They actually, bring up their fists and everything. That's crazy stuff, 49% of people buying holiday gifts get clothing or accessories. 31% of Thanksgiving shoppers bought toys in 2023. 5.6 billion amount spent online on Thanksgiving Day in 2023. That's a 5.5 increase over 2022. 16 million Thanksgiving greeting cards are exchanged each year. I'm really surprised greeting cards even sell anymore because
I know.
you got, that's crazy.
I sit on holidays and text everybody in my texting. Everybody I have listed in text. I sit and text them. I don't send them greeting cards.
I never got a text from you.
Well, you're not on my list.
I see that.
Well, you're on another list.
The naughty list?
Yes. I texted you bum.
1876 year, 1876 year the Thanksgiving football tradition began. Really? I'm really surprised.
That long ago. Wow.
I'm surprised over that. I wouldn't have imagined that being. 1920 is the first year NFL games were played on Thanksgiving. Two teams have played every Thanksgiving since 1966, the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, they always get it.
1924, first year Macy's parade, originally called the Macy's Christmas Day Parade, despite being held on Thanksgiving. 2.5 miles is the distance of the Macy's Day parade route. 8,000 people will participate in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2024. 15 balloons and balloon sickles, 14 parade floats, 12 marching bands, 2 performance groups, and a partridge in a pear tree. 2.5 million spectators typically attend. I couldn't think of anything I would do that I would want to do worse than being with 2.5 million people to see a parade. That's why television was built.
Can I tell you how many Thanksgiving Day parades I've been in?
How many?
With the Salvation Army? Every year.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of a year I wasn't in a Thanksgiving Day parade. Handing out candy, handing out all kinds of stuff. We'd have one of our feeding trucks, our canteens, driving down the road, and sometimes we'd have a float being pulled behind it.
Yeah.
And we'd have our kids out dancing, and from our music school playing instruments.
That's wild.
Yeah, handing out candy. And,
jeez.
Yeah, every Thanksgiving.
Now, 45 million plus estimated TV viewers every year. So I'm not going to turn it on either because there'll be too many people. I don't want to participate. 30% of Americans will travel this holiday. You're one of them.
I'm one of them.
18% of travelers will primarily drive to their destinations. You driving?
I'm one of them.
Yep. 13% of Americans will primarily fly to their Thanksgiving destinations. The most popular are New York, Seattle, and Dallas. 507 estimated number of traffic fatalities. I shouldn't be telling you that.
No, I don't want to know that.
I know there's one Tesla not going to get an accident on Thanksgiving Day.
No tires going to fall off.
I'm not going to do any driving that day, I don't think. So they can, if they're planning on wrecking my car, it'll be day after or day before. 54,800 people are the number of people seriously injured in Thanksgiving car crashes each year. So that'll be a little piece of mind for you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, that's the weird thing is if any of these happen, I'm going to get blamed for it. So do not wreck. There's 4 times as many home cooking fires that occur on Thanksgiving as a typical day. $26 million property loss caused by residential building fires each Thanksgiving. 5 estimated number of deaths due to Thanksgiving house fires each year. What are we thankful for? 41% are thankful for family. 33% are thankful for health. 19% are thankful for life. And 8% are thankful for job and finances. I guess that tells a lot of our country. Not too many people are happy about their job and their finances or their life, but they're happy about their health and their family. 7% are religion. They're thankful for religion. 7% 6% needs are being met. 5% are thankful for friends. So that's it. So
5% for friends?
yeah, that's
Wow.
only 5%.
And only 41% are thankful for family. That
Yeah.
ought to tell you about the state of the American family.
Yeah. Well, I got to say I'm thankful for you.
Well, yeah, I'm thankful for you.
I mean, we went a long time without really having any reaction or interaction, and then occasionally we'd talk to each other, and then boom, all of a sudden, now I talk to you
I'm
every
on a
week.
radio show with you.
I'm glad. I am very thankful for that because I think I think you had a great dimension to the show, and I think that
Well, actually, I'm carrying the show. That's what all you people tell me.
Well, yeah. Well,
They text me.
someone's got to do it. I've been doing it for too long. I mean, nobody cares about what I have. Would you stop it? Stop your growling.
Even your dogs think I'm carrying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they hey, at least I'm lighter to carry now.
True.
So,
True.
all right. I'll give you.
Thank you. I'm thankful for that, Mike.
Me too. I'm very thankful for that. Would you get out of the way? She gets one too. Here, you take yours. There you go. There you go, doggies. But yeah, so that was interesting statistics. All right, next. So the National Toy Hall of Fame just inducted a new toy to its Hall of Fame. Any idea?
No idea at all.
It starts with the word my.
Still no idea.
Little, my little.
My little. Oh, Mike, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, I guess so. And you had daughters.
Oh, My Little
Pony.
My Little Pony.
It hits the Toy Hall of Fame alongside Phase 10 and Transformers. So apparently, that's really later than I thought it would be. I would have thought that, what's that? President-elect Trump says he will nominate wrestling billionaire Linda McMahon to be education secretary.
Wow.
I'll tell you, Linda McMahon's been in politics for quite a while. And everything that I've seen she's done pretty good. I actually talked to her on LinkedIn. She's a nice person. She's not like her husband, who is not so nice. I don't even know if they're together anymore. So, okay. This is kind of interesting stuff. U.S. Navy discovers World War II destroyer in the Indian Ocean. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Geez, World War II destroyer, that's been in there for a long time. And if this is a picture of it, it's really weird because that's like an old-time steering wheel, like from a boat, like the whatever you call it.
A sailboat. Gunship. What are they called?
But there's the boat. So I think it's really cool that they found. I'm surprised it took them this long to find it. So, yeah, they. I guess it must have sunk way back then. It says Falkland Maritime Heritage Trust. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can make this bigger. There you go. The steering wheel thing. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but I think that's pretty neat that you can find just about everything nowadays. But I mean, the ocean's so big. I wonder how they found it, how they actually, found it. So, but that's pretty cool. And it actually looks like, for being that old, there it is, Endurance. Just crazy. That was 19. What year was that? 19. World War I was in the 20s. So the other one was that in the 40s? No.
40, early 40s,
Early
40
40s.
to 40.
So that
41
means
to 45.
that would have been 60, 70, 80 years ago, roughly. So
Yeah.
that's crazy to think that they actually got that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so, what was it? I think it's Wawa. One of those fast food places, or one of those places is going to have a special price on gas. I forget which one it is. Till Christmas or whatever. That's a commercial. Okay. I don't need you to be giving me commercials. Okay, let me have it. Come on, give me my screen back. Oh, HomeServe. Okay, what the world's that? All right, next. Do you ever wonder what causes you to jolt awake right before falling asleep?
No,
You
I
didn't?
don't know.
You don't? Oh, okay. We're going to find out right now. Close a couple more of these windows. Okay. Here we go. All right. Hypnagogic jerks are as common as they are mysterious. It's one of the most oddest sensations you can experience as you're trying to turn in for the night. Just as you think you're falling asleep, you suddenly feel as though you're in a free fall. Your stomach somersaults, your body involuntarily spasms. As you lay in bed, your limbs and your entire upper body may jerk and thrash in the process. That sounds like my regular orgasm. There's no logic in the reason why you felt as if you were briefly entered into a fight or a flight mode, and whatever calmness you recently attained is erased in an instant. You may be confused, annoyed, or simply weirded out. And to make matters worse, it's likely isn't the first time this has happened. If it's any consolation, you're not alone. An estimated 70% of the people will experience hypnic jerking at least once in their lives. Around 10% of the population may even regularly succumb to the sensation, also called hypnagogic jerks, in reference to a hypnagogic transitional stage of falling asleep. And yet, despite its regularity and decades of documentation, researchers haven't come up with an agreement on what the oddity, often called sleep start, or why it happens. Hypnic jerks. I know a hypnic jerk. You can be a hypnic jerk. Occasionally you are a hypnic jerk. Hypnic jerks represent a fascinating phenomenon of sleep. However, additional studies also clarify their physiology and origin. Let's see here. It says, I'm not aware of any good explanation of why this happens. It says here, it's an organized muscle movement, so it's going to require central nervous system communications. Although what and where stimulates that movement and why it is, to my knowledge, is unknown. I've had situations where I just had that wake up thing and just was like totally awake when it happened. So I don't know. I guess they don't know the answer. They just tease us like they were going to tell us.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like they're going to tell us. So.
Hey, Texas, this just came across. Texas offers President-elect Trump 1,400 borderland acres for deportation operations.
Oh, cool.
I guess that's putting up a tent city for holding people.
Okay. Well, it's a shame those people just, didn't do it the right way, because we have a whole lot more people that don't do it the right way than do. Okay, let me get rid of that. Airbnb launches gladiator experience inside a Coliseum. Do you ever use Airbnb?
Yeah.
I love Airbnbs. There are so many cool Airbnbs. So here it is, the gladiator experience. 16 lucky guests to live out their gladiator fantasies. Airbnb has officially reached epic heights with the newest addition to their lineup. So we're talking about, there you go, you got your Airbnb in the Coliseum. I wonder if you get to fight or if you have to just, pretend to fight. So, yeah. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. They got your armor and everything. I kind of would like, I wouldn't want to stay there as an Airbnb, but I think I'd like to walk through the Coliseum. But it's not really, I'm a guy of comfort. I want comfort. So that wouldn't be my favorite vacation spot. But I'm sure there's lots of people.
Early in life, I enjoyed backpacking, laying on the ground.
That was you. That was
early in life, but that was early in life.
Yeah, I never understood how you could do that. I'd look at you and Scott and them guys, and I'd be like, "You're gonna go out and sleep on the ground?" No. I don't really. I did that when I slept in my van. I don't need to, I don't have any interest.
Do you remember Denise?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so Denise, Scott, and I went camping once, and we were roughing it. We went to a campground that had no amenities, and she brings a hairdryer.
Oh no! Oh,
and a curling iron.
Well, she was such a girly girl, though.
She was a girly girl.
And I thought she was gorgeous, and I thought she was crazy being with you. But
yeah, she was a sweetheart. She was marriage material.
Yeah, she was crazy going with you, though.
She had taste, Mike. She had taste.
No, bad taste. Yeah, I'm the kind of guy that wants to be in nicer places than the woods. I like woods. I like being in the woods, but I don't want to spend a lot of time there. Okay, why we lose our voice and how to get it back. Now, this is something that, actually, if you want, did I give you the? No, I didn't. I don't think I gave it to you. Okay, I could play a song of me singing. Do you remember the song "Screaming in the Night" by Crocus?
Yeah.
Screaming in the night, fighting for my life, I'd die for you. Anyway, I did that song at practice last week. And the first thing it was like the fifth song that we did, and I said, I really prefer to do this song at the end of the night. But they made me do it anyway, like 5 times in a row. And this is way at the peak of my vocal ability. And I was like, oh man, you guys shouldn't do this till the end of the night. Anyway, it says, we've all been there. You wake up one morning. Well, that isn't my problem. You wake up your mouth to greet the world, and out comes a glorious croak. Losing your voice is a pretty common predicament. I only lose my voice when I'm singing songs I shouldn't be singing. Medically speaking, losing your voice is known as laryngitis. Okay, this is not what I thought this article was going to be about. Where do our voices go when we lose them? Okay. What can cause us to lose our voice? Well, that's losing your voice is actually a condition in its own, rather it's a sign that something else is wrong. Yeah, you sang notes you can't sing. They don't mention that in here. I'm curious how to get your voice back. Here we go. Unfortunately, anyone wanting a quick fix, okay, so they're not going to help me. So anyway, if you would like to hear that song, I will play part of that song if you want to hear it.
Okay, sure.
Did you hear any of my stuff? I gave you a link, I think, at one point.
Yes.
Was that one of the links that you got?
I will have listened to the whole album.
Okay. Because this is
It sucked.
Thanks.
But,
well, I try to. I try my best to not sound good. But I'm not going to say this song's perfect.
Your girl told me not to feed it anyone.
Well, one thing I will tell you, is that this song is not. It's not something that it's not in its best position yet, because this last week was the second time I did it. So it's going to get better, but it actually sounds like I should have never sang. I should have never been able to sing this song, but it sounds. I'm not unhappy with it. So there's 11:15. Okay. Here it is. It was the 8th song that we sang that day, and it was still early, so this is a good song though. Let me see. Let's see. Now, Crocus in itself is hard to sing, any Crocus song. And I'll probably get in trouble from YouTube from this because it's not really my song, but I'll let them yell at me. Now, one thing I could do is I could stop it every once in a while. This has a long intro, by the way, so we could actually skip part of that intro, I think. Let's go up to there. Oh, I went too far. Okay. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Not right now. I'm not hearing it.
What's that?
I'm not hearing it.
Okay. Let me see how I can get it. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Okay, we're going to back this up a little bit. And I'm going to turn this up a little. Let's see, how do I do this? Okay. Okay, now it might be too loud, but we'll see what happens here. I can adjust it on the. Okay, can you hear it now?
Stop.
What's that?
It's stopping and starting, stopping and starting.
Oh.
Hit.
So they had me do that song like 5 times, and by the 5th time, I couldn't get up there and do it. But it's a good song, and it really challenges me. because, it is so high. So.
Is the vocalist always that way?
Well, he sings pretty high. He did American Woman. He did, what are some of the other ones? But this is the one they decided they wanted us to do. And I said, well, we should do American Woman because that one's a lot easier to sing. But, I just kind of figure it's a challenge, and it's definitely challenging me to things that I haven't done before. So I'm not unhappy with it. I just think that we can't do that at the beginning or even in the middle of the set. We need to do that at the end of a set. There's 2 songs that we're doing that pretty much knock me out, and that one's one of them. The other one is it's AC/DC. It's a whole lot of Rosie. That one's a little tough to sing too. But, it's just, I like the challenge. I don't like to lose my voice, so. So, the rest of the night, I was just trying to come up, trying to sing the best I can with what I had left to sing with. But it's fun. What else we got here? I want to do those first. Doctors have a time limit that they think you should have on the toilet.
So you go in a certain amount of time, or you get up and...
Exactly. That's their beliefs. No more than 10 minutes, according to doctors. And I know there's some people that's their alone time.
Yeah.
They have
it's their reading time.
Yes. So it says here, let's be honest, people have a habit of bringing their phones to the bathroom, and chances are someone is on, if it's more than 10 minutes, probably someone's reading. 3-minute trip to the bathroom can easily turn into a 15 minutes of reading, scrolling, and posting, especially now that we have cell phones, because you can do everything on the cell phone. But it seems harmless to pass the time when you're going number 2, as they say. However, experts warn that they call prolonged sitting on the toilet can harm your health. It's been connected to a risk of hemorrhoids or weakened pelvic muscles. A colorectal surgeon at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, Dr. Lai Zhu, said, when patients present me with complaints, one of the main areas that we have to deal with is spending a lot of time on the toilet. I don't think I've ever mentioned that to my doctor. Here's what's going on when you overstay your toilet time. People should spend an average of 5 to 10 minutes on the john, according to the Dr. Farah Manzoor, an assistant of medicine and director of inflammatory bowel disease center at Stony Brook Medicine in Long Island. Why is it a problem if you stay longer? Well, here's a short lesson. Gravity keeps us grounded on Earth, but that same gravity also forces the body to work harder to pump blood back up to the heart. The open oval-shaped toilet seat compresses the buttocks, keeping the rectum in a lower position than you were sitting on the couch. With gravity pulling the lower half of your body down, the increased pressure affects your blood circulation. It becomes a one-way value where blood enters, but blood really can't go back, according to them. So, just so you know, 10 minutes is what you should be at the maximum with that. So
now they got to build toilets with timers.
That's right. Time to go. Yep. It's crazy.
That'll especially come in handy if you're on the road and you need to go to the bathroom and you run into the toilet in the rest stop and somebody's sitting there on their phone.
Yep, that would be an issue. Okay, let's see what else I got here. An EV battery giant faces bankruptcy. Now, you would think that EVs, growing in popularity, that wouldn't be a problem like that, but there is.
But is it growing in popularity?
Huh?
Are they growing in popularity?
Well, I would hope so. Maybe I don't. Maybe not.
I
But
mean, Ford is canceling their F-150 EV.
that's because they don't know how to
Completely
build one.
canceled. Well, okay.
Tesla's not having any problems. Swedish manufacturer Northvolt, once a leading player in Europe's electric vehicle battery and storage markets, is grappling with severe financial difficulties. The company's reporting considering filing for bankruptcy under the U.S. Chapter 11 laws, or even declaring outright bankruptcy. The Financial Times reports that some major investors have already written down their stakes in Northvolt to zero. Chapter 11's on the table, and bankruptcy is still a possibility. It says here the company's grappling with dire financial crisis, having failed to secure approximately 870, I don't know what that is, lire, maybe pounds, maybe it is, I don't know, to stay afloat, according to the CEO. Negotiations with potential investors for fresh capital injections have stalled, leaving Northvolt in a precarious position. Well, that concerns me a little bit because I bought stock in a competitor about, 3 years ago. Now, when I bought the stock, it was $3.70 a share, and at last time that I looked at it, it was 10 something a share. So I don't know where we're at today because I haven't seen anything on it, but that concerns me a little bit because if they're having problems, they'll probably all have problems. So, yeah, it's interesting. But a lot of the thing is that the new technology out there, the new battery technology, is some of them. The one they have is 4680 batteries, which Tesla's been working on for a couple years. They're going to roll that out this year. So if you're using the older technology, you're going to lose money right there if you're not up on the new technology. The new ones are lighter, and they can be charged quicker, and they will go longer ranges. So one reason why I'm glad I'm getting a newer car is the new cars will have these new technologies, which means they'll probably get 400 to 600 miles range on the same batteries that you would get, 250 to 300. So it's actually interesting, this technology. And actually, you have another technology coming out in a couple, I don't know how long it's going to be, but you know what an SSD drive is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard drive with no moving parts. Well,
Right.
they're going to make a battery on SSD technology, and it's going to be cooler. It'll run cooler. It'll have no moving parts. It'll charge faster. It'll be about, I'd say, 50% lighter, and it'll probably be 40% more mileage. And the price will be actually end up in the long run being less than what they're paying for batteries now. So that would mean you could possibly, drive 600 to 800 miles on a charge on a big car. Now the Aptera already gets 1,000 miles to a charge on a 100 kilowatt battery, which is what I have in my car. So just imagine what they could get with those SSDs at, say, half the voltage or half the size of the batteries. They'll be able to easily double that mileage on a car like that. So I don't know. I'm fascinated by the whole technology and the idea that
Well, you're a tech guy.
yeah, and that's one thing that is I do miss about not working is not being in front of the technology on a daily basis, because that was one thing that made me want to go to work every day, is finding out what was coming out that you wouldn't even know about for probably 6 months. I'll have known it for 6 months because they train us on it and say this is coming out in the fall, and you'd sit there and you'd learn the stuff and you think, oh, that's kind of cool, and then it would come out and boom, you're running, you're ready to sell it. Did you ever fly Spirit?
No, and neither is my wife.
And you're not going to?
No, they're done.
Yeah, they got major issues. They're filing Chapter 11. They could possibly be reorganized, but I don't know. I hated flying them. Their seats were too close together. My knees were too long, and they would hit the seat, and they don't have, like, they charge you for everything. They charge you for drinks. They charge you for everything. So everything's an add-on. If you got an extra bag, gonna cost you. It's just their philosophy was not necessarily good, and I didn't think their service was all that good either. But it says Spirit Airlines said customers can continue to book tickets on the airline. Spirit's struggled since its fallen acquisition by JetBlue. Then it says
that was their last-ditch effort to make it.
And then they had a Pratt & Whitney engine recall.
Yep.
That doesn't help any. And that's what happens when you say, I'll take that scratch and dent motor over there. So, you got any discount tires we can put on this plane? So, I don't know. I just think
used is good, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's still good. It still has tread on it. Take the nail out. It'll be good. Just put a plug in it. It'll be good. But it says Spirit Airlines, an icon of budget air travel, has reshaped the industry, has filed for bankruptcy protection after years of mounting losses. A failed merger, increased competition, and more demanding consumer tastes. The carrier early Monday reached a prearranged deal with its bondholders, including $300 million in debt in possession financing to help it through the bankruptcy, which it said it expects to exit in the first quarter of next year. That wouldn't make me want to fly with them. That would make me less likely to fly with them, because I would be thinking, they're not going to check the oil on this particular one. And I don't know. $300 million in debt. That's crazy. And
so instead of changing your oil at 5,000 to 6,000 miles, they're changing it at 12 to 15,000.
That's right. That's right. It's fresh. It was fresh when we put it in. In fact, why don't we just the guys that walk around the plane after you land? Let's just skip that. We don't need that. Let's get rid of the guy.
Still need to check it out.
We'll keep the guy with the flag so that he knows, come on back. Oh man. I don't know. That freaking industry is amazing. The amount of it says Spirit listed its assets and liabilities at what is that? $1 billion? Oh, between $1 billion and 10 billion. Well, there's a big gap there between $1 billion and 10.
That's a big gap.
Can't you narrow it down a little closer?
It's like the Pentagon missing $800 billion.
Yes. Oh, it's only $800 million.
Must be the same auditors.
Yeah. Well, that means we're in major issue. Well, we are. It's the first major U.S. airline to file Chapter 11 since American Airlines 13 years ago. But American Airlines, they made it through, But yeah, I'd be kind of concerned about flying with them now. Now that they announced it, I'd be even less likely to use their services. But I don't know. Last couple flights I took, I spent the extra money and bought first class tickets because I was flying across country, and
That's
just
the only. I couldn't afford it, but that's the only way to go.
it is. You know,
You're
you
flying.
get a meal, you get that special stewardess that's right there. So I don't know. I'm okay with that. It's a lot of extra money, but my comfort's worthwhile. So
Did you get a sleeper? Did you get a sleeper?
No.
Just a seat.
I just got a much comfier seat, and there's only two of us sitting side by side, and we're far enough apart that I don't have to, even, I know he's there, but, and I don't know.
I flew 11 hours once in coach.
Oh, I can't even imagine. My biggest was...
with a crying baby.
Oh, I think the longest I did was... Well, your 11 hours, was that one flight straight?
That's one flight straight to Israel.
Oh, man. I couldn't do that. Mine was... The worst one I had was to L.A., or San Diego, I think it was. I did San Diego one time, and I did L.A. I did L.A. twice. I think that was probably... It was probably 6 hours, because it was you had to change flights. It was probably closer to 9 hours total, but I only had to sit for like 6 or 5. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the trip I'm going to do in February, because that's going to be out to LA again. But once you get to LA, it's okay. It's just getting there. It's a real pain. So, I don't know. So, anyway. All right, so that's that. All right. There is... Oh, this was... I found this kind of interesting. You should find this interesting, because you're considered a vet, right?
Yes,
okay.
Love that.
World War II veteran recovered. Oh, this is going to be a video. Shoot, I didn't want that. Well, that's going to be a pain. Well, we don't need to see the video, but it says here... all right, there we go. All right, now. Okay. The remains of a missing World War II veteran has been recovered and identified at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. The exposition, 213 feet below the surface, is the government's deepest underwater recovery operation to date. On March 11th, 1944, a B-24 bomber known as Heaven Can Wait was shot down over Papua New Guinea. The aircraft carrying 11 U.S. Service members was en route to bomb Japanese anti-aircraft weapons on the island's northeast coast. Early last year, Navy divers recovered the dog tags of the remains of Second Lieutenant Thomas Kelly, a 21-year-old aviator from California. The remains of two other veterans, radio operator Eugene, I can't read it, I think it's Darrigan, 26, and navigator Second Lieutenant Donald Shinnick, 26, were identified earlier this year. The mission came about when, after Kelly's family members conducted an extensive research project from 2013 to 2017, gathering historical documents and eyewitness accounts to narrow down the wreckage search. So, wow, that's crazy. To think that it was that long ago. And they found
the plane and identified the body.
Jeez, that's got to be kind of cool. And I think that the guy would prefer that they find their body rather than being stuck down there for eternity. So I don't know. It's funny. Let's see here. Cybertruck powers up. Record breaking speed with ultra strong charger. Okay. Sometimes the cart comes before the horse, does come before the horse. At least that's what appears with the case of the electric vehicles and their chargers. Certain EVs have progressed to a point where they handle more juice than what charging devices can give them. One Tesla owner in Slovakia made this blatantly clear over using a 600 kilowatt e-join charger that is stronger than what is available in the United States. They set a charging speed for the Cybertruck. That's kind of crazy, and that's kind of dangerous, I would think, to try to charge it faster than they spec it. The previous record was set in the U.S. with a NXU 1000 volt charging station with a peak rate of 327 kilowatts. The Slavic owner broke it with a peak rate of 405 kilowatts, which led to a full charge in just over an hour. What? That doesn't sound very fast. My full charge is a lot quicker than that. Oh, okay, so okay. Well, why would it be a full hour? It doesn't take me a full hour to charge my car. I don't know. Of course, if you're charging it to 100%, you're not doing something right, because you shouldn't charge it to 100%. You're going to kill your battery in the long run. Then, of course, Ford tells their EV owners to stop using free Tesla supercharger adapters. Apparently, Ford made these adapters for their cars so that you could use a supercharger, but they were defective. So the automaker is going to change them for free. After offering their customers free NACS adapters for Tesla superchargers, Ford's telling its customers to stop using them. The reason cited is a potential issue that could reduce charging speeds over time and even cause charging port damage. The automaker will send a replacement adapter in the coming weeks and requires customers to send back the existing adapter, both at no cost. It's imperative we receive all the adapters affected and reduce the potential vehicle damage. The problem is, if it charges too fast, it's going to overload the battery. And so if they aren't doing it right, they could end up destroying their car. So it says, after signing an EV charging pack with Tesla in May of 2023, EV owners in Canada and the US got the green light to use the superchargers earlier this year. The original deadline for a free adapter was June 2024, but after multiple delays to suppliers, the deadline was extended to September and may be put off further due to the latest issue. The adapters convert the North American Standard CCS ports used on the EVs to Tesla's proprietary NACS cables. Other companies, Rivian, Nissan, GM, Subaru, and many others have cut deals with Tesla, have offered similar adapters, though many will permanently adapt the NACS standard. That was one of the best things that ever happened to Tesla, is that they have the biggest charging network in the world. And like when Biden first got in there, he was giving money away for a good system of charging when Tesla already had one. Yeah. And so what happened was, when Aptera put their stuff together, they decided they wanted to use the Tesla, and they got a petition started to make Tesla the standard, and they got people to sign it, and it's now the standard. So,
another one for Musk.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move, because and Musk didn't even initiate it. It was a brilliant move, though, because now they've got the largest. They've already had the largest charging system in the world, and now rather than rebuild it from scratch, they just decide. The world decided that they know what they're doing. So interesting things. But it's hopefully, Ford will get it together because I think they had a pretty cool truck. This was kind of weird. This had to do with squatting. So squatters take over a home of a couple in their 70s, and there was nothing they could do about it. The daughters of the Colorado Springs couple are alleging that a homeless woman, her boyfriend, and her son have taken advantage of their father, who suffers from dementia, and taken over their parents' house of 50 years. William Towns, 76, met a woman while he was out taking his dog for a walk and saw she was living out of her car. Her daughters wrote this in the GoFundMe initiative for legal expenses. His wife Arlene says his wife Arlene was staying with one of the daughters when she recovered from major heart surgery. The homeless woman offered to do some household chores for him, to which he agreed. The chores turned into using his shower on occasion, then sleeping in the guest room of his house for what he understood was only to be a number of days. But the woman quickly took advantage of the man, moving 2 non-working automobiles, many of her belongings, her 15-year-old son, her boyfriend, and her cat into their home. The boyfriend harasses our dad and our family and friends when asked to leave. The daughters wrote, "He has provoked altercations with our dad on numerous occasions and gets into arguments with the family with a number of unknown other groups of people that have come by the property to seek him out." Now, Towns is extremely uncomfortable having these people and their associates in his home and fearful for his safety when at his house. The daughters claim that the squatters have started up a mushroom growing operation in the couple's living room, and that there are underage drug use in the home, and that they intentionally flash firearms at the security cameras installed in the home, that they turn the faucets on and hose just to let the water run, and leave every light on in the house 24/7. They spend the days living in the home as if it was their own, rummaging through the drawers, cupboards, going through storage items, all appliances, dishes, tools, food in the refrigerator and pantries. There was never agreement from our dad, mom, or any family members with these people, stating that they or any other occupants could take permanent residency in the home. But they have stayed in the home for more than a few days, and they have rights in the home as they do and can do as they please. This isn't their first rodeo. They've taken advantage of the system and know the law is in their favor, and they seem to live confidently that they can get free housing and utilities. That was your dog, I hope.
That was my dog.
I was looking at my dog, and I was like, well, he's not barking. So the Towns live off Social Security on a fixed income, their daughters wrote, and they can't afford the exorbitant legal fees associated with extraditing the unwelcome guests. They wrote to an attorney that will charge $1,800 retainer and $400 or $500 an hour. Meanwhile, the family claims the squatters receive free legal services, court fees are waived, and all the required paperwork provided directly to them. Everything served to them on a golden platter. Man, that's horrible to think that they...
I don't understand how the legal system can do that. I just don't get it.
I thought that you had to
It's their
have...
property. Why does anybody need a lawyer to get people out of your house?
Well, I mean...
I just don't understand, Mike.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, there's a certain... Like, whenever I had people living here, I was real careful about some things that I knew, like don't have them receive mail. Don't have them, where they can show that they participated in buying food or whatever, stuff like that. So I'm really surprised. I don't know where. Let's just see if they said where it's at. And I'm sure that it's different. Colorado Springs. Okay, so I'm sure each state's different to a certain degree, but if they don't show that they reside in there with mail and stuff like that, that's one thing that you can use against them in most states. So I don't know. I just think it's really sad because people are like that. There are people that will take advantage of that, and yeah, it's definitely really unhappy for that couple. And hopefully, I should see if the GoFundMe, how's GoFundMe doing? I wonder if they put that in here. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say. I don't see a GoFundMe. Well, hopefully they can get it all together and kick them out of there. There's a bunch of people that believe that the world owes them things. Then there's Susan Smith, who's up for parole. We talked about her a while back. She's up for parole for killing her kids. She drove her car into the lake and killed her kids so she could be with this one guy who didn't want to be with her.
She's up for parole, right?
Yeah. It says Susan will be up for parole next month, nearly 30 years after she was convicted of rolling her car into the South Carolina lake and drowning her 2 sons who were strapped in the car seats. She's 53, serving life in prison after a jury decided not to sentence her to death in 1995. Under law at the time, she is eligible to ask to be released after serving 30 years. What's your opinion?
She rot in jail forever.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so be it. We decided you're going to die in jail. You know, anyone that would do that to your kids, I mean...
No, they should have got the death penalty.
Yeah. I don't know why they were being so nice to her. But all right, well, darn.
Good show. Good show.
We'll have one last funny one.
Okay.
How old do you think the world's oldest paperboy is?
98.
Oh, okay. You're higher than I would have been. He's 82. He just retired. 82. He decided to retire after 7 decades. Now, that's a job that when he was a kid, that was really important to be a newspaper delivery boy. But I mean, nowadays, where do you get your news? Do you even open or do you get newspapers?
I do not get newspapers.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be
I get newsletters in my inbox in the morning.
Yeah, it's funny because he's the world's oldest paper boy. He's worked more than 70 years, and he's decided.
I wonder if there's disabilities going on. I mean, like mentally disabled.
I couldn't tell you. It says
this is just something they could do.
Said Joe Wardman, 82, took over the family business. Wardman's news agents with his mother following his father's death in 1964, running it until his retirement in 2011. His father, Richard, co-founded the New Agents in Barra, Cumbria in 1922. Joe began delivering papers to homes and businesses in 1954 at the age of 11 while still in school. After retiring, Joe contributed delivering papers voluntarily, handing over his final delivery to staff at the town's White Lion pub on September 21st.
Wow.
Now there's a man who's dedicated to his craft.
Yes, he is.
So he's the world's oldest paperman. So, all right. Well, that's it.
That is it.
We did good, I think. So, all right.
I'll see you next week in Harrisburg.
Yes, we'll have you in the studio. So it'll be fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in person and yeah. Now I got to turn the sound back on. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go.